Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, guys, welcome to our today's session. We are going to talk about chapter 16. Chapter 16, it's all about device security, how you are going to secure your devices. Especially, we are going to talk about routers and switches, but the main focus for today is routers. But some of the comments will work for routers and switches, right? The first comment that we're going to use is what we call auto secure, right? This comment will assist you by doing some of the configurations. So this comment will allow you to configure some of the security features, right? So this comment will start assisting you on how to secure the system. So you're going to have some questions that the system will ask you and you are going just to respond. This is the meaning of this comment. So it's going to assist you on securing the system. So I will show you how you can do it. We're going to go to packet tracer. I'm going to just pick up one router here, one PC, and I'm going to console, right? And I'm going to go to terminal. You wait for the router to reboot. Okay, I'm going to say no. So you must be in privilege mode and you can say auto secure, right? You see like you're going to have like questions here, right? You're going to have different questions. So they are going to ask you some questions. Is this router connected to the internet? You're going to say yes or no. Let's say no, right? Enter the security banner, right? Put the banner between K and K. So I can say K, don't access my router without authorization. I'm going to end up by K, right? So you see how the system will allow me to configure some of the features when it comes to security. So this comment will assist you on securing the system, right? You only like answered to some of the questions and the system will configure it for you, right? This is the meaning. Okay. Now, what is important for you, right, when it comes to device security? Number one, you have to make sure that you change all the default configurations. Change all default configurations. You know, when you purchase a device, so a device will come with what? With some default configurations like username and password, right? You have to make sure that you change them, right? And password. So when you access your device, when you want to configure some of the things when it comes to security, especially when you're using the auto secure, make sure that you change all the default configurations that will come with your device. You remember when you purchase a device, like a modem, a router, a switch, those devices will come with some of the default configurations. For security purposes, you have to change them. Step 2, right? When you are done with changing like all the default configurations, what you're gonna do, you have to restrict access to resources. You have to make sure that you restrict access to resources. You restrict access to your switches, to your routers, to your wireless access point. And step 3, you have to turn off unnecessary unused or unnecessary services and applications, right? So the applications that you are not using or services, you have to turn them off. You can also uninstall them, right? So this is what you have to understand. You are using AutoSecure to assist you on some of the configurations when it comes to security. Remember, there are 3 steps. Step 1, you have to change all the default configurations that will come with the device. Step number 2, you have to restrict access to your resources. You have to restrict access to your computers, your switches, your routers by putting a proper password. And step number 3, you have to turn off unnecessary services or applications that you are not using, or you can even uninstall them. Right? Now, number 2, let's talk about password, right? Password. Right? You have to follow the standard guideline when it comes to password, right? You have to follow standard guidelines when it comes to password, right? So we're gonna see them, right? I'm gonna put them inside the table, right? Let's just say number 1, your password length, right? Your password length must be more than 8, right? Your password length, like maybe your password can be this one, right? So you can see it's more than 8. Number 2, you must use uppercase, lowercase, number or numbers, symbols. So a good password must have what? So uppercase, lowercase, and symbols, right? Like this one. It's also a good one, right? Like this one. Maybe I can say, yeah, right? And number 3, you have to avoid number sequence. Avoid number sequence. Like example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not good. This one is not a good password. You have to avoid that, right? This is not good. You have to avoid. You have also to avoid dictionary word. Example, meet 1, 2, right? This is not a good one. Or maybe you can say house 1, 2, house 1, 2. This is not a good one, right? You have also to avoid relatives. Like what? Like maybe when you say Tando, right? Your friend or my father and so on, right? And you have to change password like often. Change password often, right? Don't use like a password forever. You have always to do what? To change your password, right? So always change your password, right? And the last one, don't write your password down or on the desk, right? Don't do that. So those are the standard guidelines that you have to follow when it comes to password, right? Okay. Now we are going to talk about number 3, some additional password security, right? Some additional password security. Right? So when we're talking about some additional password security, what you need to understand is this. You can choose a strong password, but your strong password is very useful when it can be kept secret. I'm going to write it down. So strong password are useful if they are secret, right? Very important. So your password can be useful when it can be kept secret, right? You can choose like any type of strong password, but if it's not kept like secret, it's nothing, right? So what are the steps that you have to follow in order to keep your password secret, right? It's what we are going to talk about, the steps to keep your password secret. Number 1, you have to encrypt all plain text password, right? You have to encrypt all plain text password. The command that we're gonna use, It's what? It's service password encryption. You know this command, right? So we are going to use this command to encrypt our password, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to packet tracer. We are going to do it. I'm gonna pick up new router. You do the same with me. We are going to console, and you go to your router desktop terminal. No, enable. All right, let me try to change the size of my, I want to change it to font. I think it's fine already. 17, it's fine. Yeah. I was changing my font. I want it to be really big. Okay. So now you must be in, okay, let's first configure terminal, right? Line console. Let's give it a password. My password, maybe it's Cisco, right? And I'm gonna say login. We are going to exit. Line VTY 0 to 5, maybe. Password Cisco 2. All right, and I'm gonna say login. So from here, let me check those passwords. Suppose like I wanna know what are the passwords that are configured. So I can just say do show run for checking. Do show run, and you are pressing enter, right? So you are going to say where my password. Okay, so you see that my password are here, like in clear text, like Cisco and Cisco 2. We don't want that. We don't want our password to be in clear text. What we're gonna do, we have to encrypt, right? So from here now, we're gonna use this command for encrypting the password, all right? So what we're gonna do now, we exit, and we're gonna say service password encryption. I don't know why. Oh, okay, I'm in your service password. Okay, service password encryption. So this is the command. Don't follow me because I'm using the tab. So I don't want to type so many things because I'm running like out of time. Service password encryption. So this is the command that you have to type. And when you say do show run, right, you are going to see that your password are going to be encrypted. You see here, my line console is encrypted. It's changed. So if somebody try to access my device, he won't gonna understand which one is the correct password. So you're gonna take this one. I try to use it, but it's not the password because it's encrypted. You could see they are here. They are encrypted, right? So this is the meaning, right? So step number one, you encrypt all your plain text password. Number two, what you must do, you must setting a minimum acceptable password length, right? You have to decide the size of your password, the password length. So it's going to take 10 characters, 20 or 25 or 8 characters, right? So this is the meaning. So, and the comment, it's very, very easy, right? You have to choose your password character, right? And when you go to your NETA card here, let me go to your NETA card. You are going to find it here, right? For those who are going to go through it here. So it's security password minimum length 8. So this is the password. Very easy for you, right? I can just copy the comment, right? So you come there, right? Security tab. Let me see if you must security password minimum length. You can say 10, right? So security password minimum length 10, right? So this comment will allow you to set up what? The length of your password, right? So this is the actual. Right? I'll just try to put a bit bigger for you. So this one. Right? So security is password minimum dash length 10. Right? So this is from step number 2. Right? So first you encrypt your password. You configure the security password minimum length. And number 3, you have to configure what we call deterring brute force attack. Brute force password guessing attack, right? So what does it mean, right? What does it mean there? Most of the time, right, hackers will use thousands of passwords trying to check which one is the correct one, right? So you can have maybe your phone is a password. So I can try to check millions of passwords until I will get the correct one. So there are some applications or password crackers that will allow you to do so. So when you have a password, I can bring a password cracker that will attempt so many passwords in a single second or minute or during a time frame until I'm going to get the correct one. We call it brute force. So brute force means, I can also write it, means try many password. Try many password. Many password using a password cracker, right? So this is the meaning of brute force. So you're gonna have a password cracker, right? That will attempt so many passwords. Now, how to stop this? You cannot allow, like your phone, maybe somebody can attempt even 10 passwords. No, you have to allow maybe 3 attempts. So after 3 attempts, block. Maybe after 10 attempts, block. Right? So when you got your packet restart, the command is here. All right? I'm gonna try to copy if it will allow me and leave it here. All right? So the command is login block this 120, right? So you are going to block. So blocking for 120 seconds. The 3 means 3 attempts allowed. The 60 means within 60 seconds. All right. Let me try to reduce it first so that we. Okay. So what does it mean? So we are going to block for 120 seconds the device or the user after 3 attempts within 60 seconds. So it means this. A person will try within 60 seconds 3 attempts to punch a password. So for the first time, I'm going to try wrong password. Second time, wrong password. Third time, wrong password. Within 60 seconds, the system will block me for 120 seconds. You can change those numbers, right? So what you're going to do, you just go to your packet at restart, right? And the command is already here. So you just say login block 120. So I'm going to block you for 120 seconds. All right. Attempts. For 3 attempts. So when you attempt 3 times within 16 seconds, so I'm going to block you for 120 seconds. So this command means when you try a wrong password 3 times within 60 seconds, I'm going to block you for 120 seconds. This is what does it mean, right? You got your phone, you got your routers, you got your switch. Don't allow people to attempt more than 3 times, right? Because they are password cracker, they are software that can attempt using what we call brute force. Brute force attack means attempting millions of passwords in a single second, right? Until the correct one will be found, right? So you have to do that. Now, the last one, number 4, what you must do, you have to disabling in inactive privileged exe mode access. After a specific amount of time, right? So what does it mean? You know, from the privilege mode, right? Suppose like you don't use the privilege mode for a specific moment, the system must kick you out, right? So if you don't use some of the configurations or you don't use your privilege mode for a few seconds or a few minutes, the system must kick you out. Why? Because hackers can get like in and continue with the configurations, right? So when you keep your privilege mode like that, somebody can get in and move on with the configuration. So you have to say, okay, suppose like I'm not using the privilege mode, I'm not using my router for 10 seconds, you must kick me out. Because when you kick me out, for me to log in again, they're gonna ask me for a password, right? So which command you're gonna use it here? The command it's here, right? So exit timeout. So exit timeout 5 minutes, 30 seconds. So you have to kick me out after 5 minutes and 30 seconds, right? Now you can see here, you must be first in line virtual, right? And you configure your password, right? You must be in line configurations mode. So like here, I can go to line virtual, mine it was 0 to 5, right? I can say my password is already known. I can just say exit timeout, maybe 5 to 30. So kick me out after 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So if I don't use it, it's gonna kick me out, right? So this is what I wanted us to discuss with this first recording, right? We spoke about so many things. Remembered where we started. We're talking about device security. So I've explained about the auto-secure. I've explained about the password standard guidelines, and I've explained about the additional password security, how to encrypt, how to set the minimum acceptable password length, how to block someone for attempting multiple times, and how to disable your privilege mode when you are not using it. All right. So thank you very much. We are going to carry on with our next video. All right.